Previously on our adventures in the world of The Witcher, the group navigated the intricate... Sorry, I'm already getting into Gerwulf's. The intricate social web of the mage's Gala. Opheia assisting an alchemist with a wardrobe mishap. Mare rescuing Louise from the unwanted attention of a lecherous professor. Casper sharing a dance with an elven mage, and Kilton exposing a boastful mage who had been secretly enhancing himself with magic. Now, with the festivities still going on, the group will turn their attention to Gerwulf Mordhain, hoping to uncover what knowledge he may hold. So we'll jump back into the Gala.
He said he's expecting us.
Yes, I am. Oh. All right. So you see the three of you as you approach Gerwulf. He is a very, very old elf man of undetermined age. And you see he has the look of one of those people that... Have you ever been to, like, the river and you see one of those, like, extremely old guys who's just, like, been out in the sun, like, every day of his entire life? And he's just, like, looks like his skin is just kind of like leather. Like, it's just, like, that, like, nut brown color of just, like, someone who's, like, never put sunscreen on.
A leather daddy of a different kind.
Yeah, exactly. But he's just also, like, very, very old and, like, wrinkled and just...
The fuck did you just say?
He said old and wrinkled.
What did you hear?
No, before that. Just saying.
Oh, cheese and cracker?
No, I mean after that.
Who knows?
I don't know. We'll look back at the recording.
We'll find out later.
I didn't catch it. All right.
For the court records, Tristan said a leather daddy of a different kind.
That's what I thought I heard.
And now the joke's not funny. And we can cut it. No.
So, the three of you approach Gerwulf, and he offers you some of his salmon platter that he's been working on. And he goes, "Here, pour yourself some wine. Pour me some too, please."
I will pour him a glass of wine.
"Thank you, milady. Pray tell, what's your name? No, let me guess. Sorry, I've had a terrible headache my whole day. Let me get my senses are clouded, but I sense your name is Mare Moon."
That is correct.
Louise told me you wanted to speak with me when I arrived.
Yes.
Well, I'm here now. You're here now, and we're speaking.
It is great to finally make your acquaintance. I am very familiar with your legacy and your work, and it is an honor to meet you.
Yes, well, Louise mentioned that, well, you were interested in learning more about the mage Balor and what this whole circumstance is. I wasn't planning to attend this, but Louise had sent a raven and said that, well, herself and others have been afflicted by the arrival of the comet, and, well, my research over the centuries has been extensive, and I was concerned, so despite the problems with my health, I traveled here through a portal, and it was very hard on my back. I had to walk a while.
Well, I appreciate your endeavor in coming here and sharing your vast knowledge on the situation.
Of course. He rubs his temples. He goes, who are your friends?
Oh, Casper of Blaviken and Opheia.
Oh, Blaviken. Horrid little town, isn't it? No wonder you left, Casper.
I've never been.
No. Good, don't go. It's awful. They have the worst inn I've ever stayed in across the entire continent. Of course, that was like a few hundred years ago, so it might be better. And who are you? He turns to Opheia.
I'm Opheia. I can tell you my hometown. If you want to insult it, I can insult it with you.
Yes.
Hold on, where am I from? Why did I put this in my notes?
I too have memory problems.
You're from the south.
No, the south.
I am from the south.
You're in the south. I
No,
don't
hold
remember.
on. I pulled. She's from Angren. Angren.
Oh,
I'm from Angren.
you know, in all my years of living, the one place I've never been was Angren. But then I went a few years ago. Well, probably about 200 years ago. But then I did go. I hadn't been there. Then I went. It was fine.
Yeah, not a lot of notable things to draw people in.
He kind
But
of
you're notable.
Cracks his aged back and stretches. He goes, oh, his headache is. Let me see here. Well, I presume then that you want to know more about what is happening in the world, as it affects you and it affects everyone, I think. Please,
Yes.
set yourselves down comfortably. I'll explain what I know as best as I can in the ways that I have learned it. Well, Louise filled me in a bit on what you know, and, well, it's important to recognize that Balor is no mere specter, no ghost or untethered mind. He's more than that. In his form that he returned to this sphere as, he is more akin to what you might call a djinn, unbound and untethered, able to reshape reality as he sees fit if he is to become free. There is a thing that you must understand about this entity, Balor. He is bound, but not forever, and if or when he breaks free, well, every soul that his power has marked, well, they will be forfeit. Balor, the entity, will consume them, their mind, their body, their essence. It will refuel his birth. And, well, the marked, they are not just cursed, but they are in a way his tether, his reservoir of strength. I take it you are all marked.
Opheia just shows off her tattoo.
Ah, yes. Well, perhaps then. Is there another cheese plate coming? Did someone say Gouda? Perhaps? No?
Casper, could you
All right.
No.
could you fetch?
It's fine. There's been enough I've been to enough of these galas to know they never have enough cheese. But
No, you know he ate the cheese.
He ate all of the cheese. People are looking at the cheese board and think, why is all that's left fucking goat? Why is it just goat cheese left?
Is this mage suspiciously triangular prism shaped. Like he just ate a huge wedge of cheese.
With a smug grin upon his face.
He turns back to you, goes, I'm sorry. Yes, to banish Balor, you must sever the connection to this world. Lock him away in the prison that the heroes of old built in this sphere.
Is that where he's rematerializing?
I would assume so, yes.
Are you saying that the ones who are marked have to stop existing?
Do I need to cut off my arm? That's what Casper wants to ask.
That's not what I was going to ask.
Well, an arm seems excessive, but the answer is I simply don't know how much sacrifice is necessary. He rubs his temples again. He kind of, you see, to banish him, you will need to perform a ritual of unmaking, and you'll need a few things in order to do that. First, you'll need an anchor, something of Balor's, something that ties his power to this plane. Balor was an elven mage in the days of yore, and the relics still exist, but finding them may be challenging. I can't help you there, but you'll need something that ties his presence, his entity to this sphere of who he was before the conjunction of the spheres.
A staff or a grimoire or...
Yes, a staff. If you could find his focus, that would be ideal.
Would such things be found in the place he was sealed? His sanctum?
Well, if I recall correctly, that he kind of leans down onto the table and pulls out like a little knapsack. He pulls out a book of like a runed book that he is kind of flips through a little bit. The final resting place of the prison of Balor has never been formally documented. The heroes of old locked it away and brought it to their grave, but it's thought that perhaps, yes, there might be an anchor of Balor's there in the tomb that they constructed.
Is there any theory as to where the tomb is? I assume it's on the continent.
Yes, my best estimations is that it is likely in one of the elven cities that was built over by mankind when, as centuries progressed. My best estimation is that it's likely in the catacombs underneath Maribor.
Maribor? Up the map again. Forget where Maribor is.
Maribor is in Temeria.
I'm in Mahaka,
which
way
is
too far.
now obviously it's like kind of south of
There it
Vizima.
is.
So
Yeah, south of Vizima,
Oops, not the real Maribor, Witcher.
west of
yeah,
Mount
no, it's actually in the
Maribor.
real Maribor. You guys need to.
Not too far from Angren.
I've got friends in Slovenia. I could pop in.
Oh, we're so fucking far from that.
We're far from everything, is
We're
the
far
thing.
we're far from everything. I gotta learn standing portal, even though Mari's fucking afraid of it. The one spell she's afraid of using.
And then I would start a new character because Casper would never put his ass through a fucking portal.
Put you
This
on
is
the-
Jingles the...
gotta give you a
Jingles
gab
the
of
clown.
penance.
Lover.
If anybody
Gotta
that
give you
has
a gab
enough
of penance and cheese to get you to go through a portal.
or one firm push.
That's all it takes.
I so sincerely don't think any of you could push Casper like enough to get him an amount of distance.
We're wrestling right here in this fucking party.
Oh, you wish.
Just like I feel like this troop has the distinct possibility of devolving into the It's Always Sunny gang when they go to like the party and they're just like,
Bro, no, I could totally freaking knock you down. No, try me. I've literally been to this party.
okay. Gerwulf flips through his book a bit more. He goes, yes, Maribor is my best estimation in the research I've done, but this he kind of turns a little bit more to Mare and Opheia as well. He goes, this ritual that will need to be performed, the invocation it's simple, but requires a very, very precise execution. And he turns to Opheia, it does require blood, specifically the blood of those who follow him. His disciples tied their fate to his. Their essence must be spent to sever that bond. Willing or not, their sacrifice is necessary to bind him.
So we need to bleed on the altar to make it work, as it were.
Or have someone else do it who's also marked. I'm not sure how much it will take, but it might be an arm, it might be more, it might be a drop. My assumption is with spells like this, it's probably a decent amount. Not gonna lie, it's probably a good amount of blood.
Old magic is always so
You're not
reliant on
getting away with a
blood.
drop.
If you hang a person upside down and then slit their throat, all of their blood comes out.
Thank you, Casper. That's very helpful.
I'm still trying to understand this. Followers of... Are we just by the merit of being marked doing Balor's whim?
Well,
You were certainly all doing his whim back in Saints Crossing.
yes, Mare has a
Casper
point.
just looks like he's going to throw up when you mention that.
As Balor becomes stronger, his control over his followers becomes more complete. Those with weaker minds and those more inclined to follow his beliefs will be the first to fall, already have, likely. And, well, yes, in a way, any who is marked are his followers, but obviously not necessarily by choice. Do you know... He turns to Opheia and he says, in your hometown, do they have a thing that's like a sausage on a stick that's like breaded? I thought they had one of those when I went.
It is the yeah, but they were called they were called Cornish wolves. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Cornwall.
I wish they had some of those here. I haven't had one of those. I don't know if my digestive tract could handle one, but I would risk it for one bite.
Can you just conjure one?
I have to tell you that I mean they were the primary ingredient in it was whey.
They were veggie dogs.
Can you imagine if we fed this guy a corn dog and he died on the spot?
Oh, I'm just expecting him to die mid-sentence, like, any moment. Every puff he takes, I'm just like...
900 years old and we give him one corn dog and he literally croaks.
He dies before we get the quest marker update and then we get the failed world state notice. We get the failed world state notice that you get when you play Oblivion.
Oh my god.
He kind of like pulls, wipes his nose. He has like a bit of a bloody nose. He pulls out his handkerchief, kind of wipes. He goes, "I'm so sorry. My health is not what it used to be. a few hundred years ago. But yes, the ritual, Mare, he pulls a page from his runed book and shows it to you, and Opheia and Casper as well. And you see that it is a kind of a diagram of an intricate sort of rune, almost resembling sort of branches of a tree, kind of like a Yggdrasil type of tree, you know? And you are able to see that there's only about half of the rune completed. And he says that in my research, I've only been able to find the rubbings of half of the ritual that will bind Balor. The other half must be retrieved. Now, the library at Aretusa would be the place I would think that this would be kept.
Does the library at Aretusa still exist?
Well, that's a good question, and the main thing is I think it would have been in the library of Aretusa, but I don't know where it might be now. In fact, many of the treasures of Aretusa, I'm sure they survived. I'm just not sure where they may have ended up.
And the continent is a wide place and everyone fucking knows teleport.
Well, and the bad thing is, with mages, they're a greedy, selfish, unkind bunch, and, well, many of them may have just taken much of the stuff from the library and just kept it for themselves, you know.
I'm glad I was not there for the coup, but at the same time, I'm also mad I wasn't, because I would have liked a couple books in the library that I always wanted to have for my own. I did want to steal some things for myself. Yes, I'm not above admitting that.
But mages also have foresight. I mean, I heard about this this newly invented printing press. There aren't any copies made of such an important book.
Bold of you to assume that mages actually have foresight and they just don't say it over and over again and hope that people don't call them on it.
Very few mages have the actual gift of foresight. Some are just more pragmatic than others, and most are just fools who live in the moment.
He flips through his book a bit more, and he... yes, well, the reality is, if we do nothing... Well, if we fail to stop Balor, and he rises again, stronger, and will be, by our estimations, unstoppable. The moment that his prison shatters, the marked ones, the followers, will burn from the inside, their very being torn apart and consumed.
In your estimation, do you think the shattering of his prison will coincide with the appearance of the second comet?
I think...
Or the alignment of the stars to this constellation?
Yes. The arrival of the first comet was the arrow that pierced the glass of his cage. The second will be the one that shatters it entirely. But there is always, of course, the chance that as his followers rise in strength and the barrier becomes weaker, that perhaps those inclined to see him rise again could accelerate the process.
I think one of those people might be in attendance tonight.
They might be all around you. You'll never know. It could be me!
Can I look at the ritual that he showed me and see if there's any similarities or mirrors to the ritual that I saw in my dream?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, you look, and Mare, go ahead and give us a magical training check in this case.
Magical training. Ah, man.
20's still good.
It's the second lowest number I can roll without fumbling.
You didn't fumble, so that's the important part, and a 20 is still very good. So trying to think back, I mean, this was quite some time ago in real life and in game.
It also was the worst nightmare Mars ever had in her life.
Yes.
So
you recall from your from that night that you were in a crypt and you could see there was some sort of rune. Looking at the page that Gerwulf has presented to you with a 20, you do see that it appears to be the same. That kind of tree-like runic ritual shape that is that appeared in both places. With a 20, though, you're not really able to like fully make out what the other part, the missing part, would be. Just that it would be a match for what is there.
Okay, there would probably be a very like slim to none chance of being able to recreate the ritual based off of what I've seen in the dream. I only had one perspective of it.
It would be difficult. However, in the world of The Witcher, God, what is the dream? Ornamency? Is that what it is?
A neuromancy.
A neuromancy, yes.
Lesbomancy.
Different kind of dream.
You would potentially be able to use magic like that to reconstruct the dream or to revisit it in a way.
I just so happen to be in a relationship with a neuromancer. But it is a ritual that I can learn. I don't remember what level it is. I think it's a journeyman ritual.
Casper is going to turn to Gerwulf. Is going to say, I have a separate question to ask.
Yes. What is it?
Were you around when Witchers were being developed or when they were still being made by mages?
My God, how old do you think I am?
It was not that long ago that mages still had a hand in it.
Yes, actually I was, and I didn't have much interest myself. I've always been more interested in history and things like that, not in experimenting with people. But yes, many of my colleagues back in the day, they were involved. It was a different time.
Do you know of any way to undo it?
Well,
have you ever heard of any word of
there's
it?
been reversals done in the past. Not many. But then again, not many witches wish to, and even fewer survive long enough. But it's been done before, sure.
You know the processes or know where those might be written down?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that many times history is not written down and it is lost with those who pass on. But there may be answers out there. Where they would be, I would have to think on it, ruminate, perhaps even study it. But
do you know if the reversals were a more medical intervention or more of a magical intervention?
I believe both have been done. I have not encountered them myself, but I know of at least 3 cases that had occurred. One being a medical one that, if I recall, did not end super good for the Witcher. But I do think that he survived for a while, mostly. And then there was 2 or maybe 3 magical ones of varying degrees of success. There may be more. Those are just the ones that I recall from my readings.
Do you know if any mages that were involved are still alive?
Not from those times, unfortunately. there may be some mages or researchers that would be qualified to perform such a process. In fact, perhaps the medical medical avenue might be better these days than it was back then.
Lucian did tell us about a mage experimenting with mutagens in Maribor. Some research can be found there.
I am not familiar with that myself, but if they told you that, then I would believe it. They seem to know what they're saying.
I feel so disillusioned. I thought the past generations didn't want to give us any kind of advantage at all. We're just starting over. We're supposed to be smarter than them.
History doesn't work that way.
Because they chose not to write any of it down?
We're not any better than anyone that lived in the past. We're simply...
But we could be.
I mean, what's the definition of better?
Knowing what they knew and knowing what we know. It's just abhorrent.
Progress isn't linear. We continue working, we continue studying. Be pragmatic.
Can I be angry first?
You can be angry. You can always be angry. Anger is an excellent fuel source. You just have to put some action behind it.
If you happen to look at Casper at this moment, you can tell that he's fucking seething as well, but he's just not saying it. He's too proud to say it.
We will find a way. I'm going to recreate history and write it down this time. But we have to save the world first, apparently.
Well, if one of those things happens, I hope that I can at least be human for a few months before we are burned up from the inside. Or if we can solve the problem first, maybe we can get to it after. But regardless...
You have 4 months until the comet? Zephyr? I don't remember how much time has passed.
Oh, yes, roughly. I'd have to look up I think it's like 3 months roughly now. I don't remember. I have to check the notes, but I'd say around there-ish.
We have 3 months to get to Maribor, reconstruct this ritual, and find a piece of Balor's belongings. Tight time schedule. But I may be able to call in a few favors.
If you can focus on the mage aspect, I'm sure that each one of us has contacts elsewhere that can find other things. I know that the Scoia'tael use a lot of the elven ruins and make it a point to find ruins underneath major cities as well. If I can get in contact with them again, they might have information for us as well.
I think that's wise. I think in this time, a threat like this could, well, people are so caught up in their own wars and their own challenges that they have little interest in things like this, but they really should. This could be the end of the world as we know it. he rolls up his sleeve, and you see that he is also marked.
Oh no, people!
And he goes,
Wow, bury the lead. Love it.
my time of adventuring is over. But you and the mages here, and your allies, the people that will come to your aid when you call them, you must send out that call. It is in this time of contempt that we must stand together, or else we will fail.
Just reach forward and grab his hand, the one that on the arm that's marked, and just hold it. We won't let you down. We won't let anyone down.
I know. You will all do what is right. He kind of taps the tome, the ruined book that he has. He says, my notes here. I have put together everything I know. Every piece of the history that everyone else thought was not important. That the prophecy of Galarus was just another phony. That something like this would never happen in this day and age. But here we are, staring it in the face at the 11th hour. Kilton, go ahead and give us an awareness check.
Hey, she hasn't come for the bag at all. What you guys talking to this old man for? No, let's see. Awareness.
Ooh.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Damn. Nice, Kilton.
Almost exploded
Kilton.
the crit.
You putting your couple of runes and a glyph that you just won in your satchel or bag or whatever you got pocket, and you see Aoara approach. She goes, hello, it seems as though you have my bag.
Here you go.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm not feeling particularly well. I don't know if perhaps maybe one of those cheese plates or something sat unwell with me. I'm Aoara, by the way. I assume you're a friend of Opheia's.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she wouldn't give your bag off to a stranger. She's responsible. Silver dress? Yes, gotta be. Well...
Yes, you see she's now wearing a very nice, kind of almost looks like it's woven of like mercury or lead. It's like metallic almost in that it's in its sheen. Very, very cool looking.
You know, she had a message to send along. She was really concerned with leaving this with me, but well, you know, business calls and well, forgot where I was going with this. She wouldn't leave it out of her sight otherwise. Very trustworthy person.
And she's also single.
I kind of want to just try to hype up Opheia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aww.
She goes, yeah, Opheia really seemed like she knew what she was talking about with the alchemical thing. She really seemed interested in my experimentations into soul. I hope that we get a chance to work together more. It seems like we might have a lot of interesting ideas that would work well together.
Hold on. Aborting plan. You say soul. I've heard mages will buy that without even questioning.
Well, yes, and she kind of starts to go into her explanation that she gave.
The dollar signs appear.
Kilton, as the gala has kind of reached its peak, glasses raised in toasts, laughter kind of, ringing through the grand hall, with a very, blowing the DC out of the water with a 34. You're engaged in this conversation with Aoara. but you're kind of taking a look around, and you are like, wait, where did Kazimir go? He's not anywhere. You're like starting to look at like different groups and like trying to see where he's at. With a 34, you see...
Search for him, hopefully.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm just going to scan the place. I say, yes, talk to Opheia about soul and heart and whatever the hell, please. And try to persuade her that Opheia is worth talking to before I fuck off.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give us a persuasion check for the sake of it, even though we know that yours is incredible. Yes, a 29.
Human?
She seems to be probably like half elf. It's hard to tell. I'd say you get a +1. Just
Okay. 28, 29. Take your pick. I run off. Yeah. I leave the bag with her and run off.
More than enough. You see. I'll still use your 34 as you kind of are now actively looking for Kazimir. You note that towards the end of the hall here, across the kind of crowded room and everything, you note he is kind of standing in the doorway way up here. And
I'm going to come around here and just... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so there's...
Sit down on the chair, kick my feet up on the table.
Okay, perfect. As you're doing that, as you're approaching... Gerwulf to the rest of you is saying, yes. What was I saying about the sausages that were breaded? They were...
the Cornish wolves, yes.
Yes.
An Angren delicacy.
But... that's for another time. I'll have to get one of those on the road home, but... If we fail in this, if we falter, there won't be another chance.
To get Cornish wolves.
Kilton, as you approach Kazimir...
I hear those grow on trees in the swamps of Dol Angra.
That's actually a false cognate.
Oh. What are those? Cattails? I don't know.
Do not
There we
eat
go.
Cattails.
Do not eat cattails.
What? Why?
It's just cotton.
Because kitties need them.
Eat cattails. Fuck it.
Their roots are edible, their seeds are not. Eat the roots only.
I was kidding. I didn't even know there was a part of it you could eat. That's good to
there's
know.
a part of it you can eat.
No, please eat the seeds of cattails, because then you'll get afflicted by the mummy's curse, and it'll be very funny.
We do not offer medical advice on this show.
Gerwulf dabs his handkerchief at his trickle of blood from his nose.
Oh.
And
is he poisoned?
with a
It's consumptive.
kind of very sudden and explosive burst, his head explodes.
Whoa!
Good God.
Mari
shit!
and Opheia, you are showered in the remnants of Gerwulf's skull. And
I
break
pulled my
I'm a
sword.
corn dog, didn't you?
I grabbed the tome first and foremost.
Holy shit.
Kilton, you see as Kazimir locks eyes with you, his hand kind of now lifted, murmuring an incantation. The chandeliers begin to flicker. You all feel the air sort of tighten around you, and for a heartbeat, silence kind of blankets the room. And then silence is broken by the screams of the patrons.
A real bad time to start having a nosebleed.
He's gonna take control of the living armor.
I hope not.
I hope not.
No, worse than that.
Oh no, he's gonna bring in his bug boys.
He's going to make us do a murder mystery.
He's a bug fucker, man.
Okay, I'm just gonna shoot him in the face and he's gonna die in one hit.
The body of Gerwulf slumps in the chair.
Oh,
still kind
no.
of spewing
Oh, no.
blood. And with a very sickening kind of tearing sound from what's left of his neck and throat, you see a grotesque eruption of shadow and gore as the figure or form of a him-type creature, fully grown now, emerges from the body of Gerwulf.
He's possessed. He was possessed.
Let's go. That's sick.
Whoa.
Peepaw, no. I'm right fucking here again. God damn it.
I fucking literally fucked you for this wizard.
These things hurt.
I drew my
I got
sword.
somebody killed last time.
Yeah, him's hurt. I remember. I fell from the balcony in the last campaign, but I'm 5 feet from the guy who blew that guy's head up.
Now I think his head blew up because of the hymn.
Everyone, go ahead and give me an
Escaping.
awareness check.
This guy's doing incantations
Situational
for no
awareness
reason,
check.
man.
No, I think he's doing something else.
He's doing prestidigitation to make it smell like fresh cut grass.
I'm gonna use my last 2 luck.
I'm out of luck. But not out of real
You may
luck.
not want to use your luck on this just because it's not a super high DC. It's just kind of an awareness check around the room. So you can use it if you want, but
Right?
maybe.
We have the fight
you never
first.
know.
I mean, yeah. I just may not refresh everyone's luck if we're in the middle of a combat. So, like, if we might not finish the session, but we might not necessarily refresh luck. like we normally do.
Why?
I know, I'm sorry, but we didn't get quite as far into this as I was planning, so
That's
it
fair.
may not be.
I used all my luck on that fucking guy.
Yeah,
I mean, we could end before the fight and leave it on a fun cliffhanger, right?
we probably will. Okay, with a Opheia 19, Mari 16, Kilton 24, and Casper 20, you all pass the DC as you kind of take a quick situational awareness check here as this hymn kind of writhing and spasming as it is birthed from the corpse of Gerwulf arises, and you look around and you note that you see an elven mage woman, one of the other ones that you had not spoken to, kind of fall to her knees and begin kind of clutching at her head and neck as you see from her eyes kind of bulging in the dark, her throat kind of ripping open as she falls to the ground, and another hymn. You see patrons beginning to kind of scatter, mages begin to kind of start casting spells as a good number of people seem to be afflicted by this.
Two of
All these
him?
people were fucking marked.
Is it?
God fucking damn
Oh
it.
no! What
This
about
is-
the mage friend?
Louise. Oh God.
Oh, this is bad.
Two of him.
I shout to Louise to run.
Yeah,
All
at
right,
least
well,
to
with
tell
The
us.
call is coming from inside the house. I don't think that's gonna help her.
we are
Be smarter.
going to
She
roll
could teleport away from here.
initiative as we are. 3 of you are in close proximity to the hymn remains of Gerwulf, and Kilton, you are face to face with Kazimir.
That's exactly where I want to be fighting a wizard. Or a mage, sorcerer, or whatever. Initiative.
There's no combat encounter.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey.
Oh,
Aww.
Wow, I'm going
Bottom
actually not last for
feeders.
once.
Yeah, what's good, Opheia? We
And
down
we'll have
here.
Louise be the stand-in for the mages.
hanging
to
out in
go.
the bottom pod.
All right. Well, as chaos erupts and you are all thrown into what appears to be, well, you're not really sure what it appears to be. I don't even know what it appears to be.
Chaos.
There's chaos. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fucking creatures
A
erupting out of people's.
whole tome of it.
I will say it seems as though with all of your awareness checks, you all did pass, and Kilton, you obviously being very high with your awareness and right up in front of Kazimir, it does appear as though he seemed to like trigger this. It seems like they were sort of hibernating essentially, like they'd been fully grown now, and then he kind of triggered this eruption from them
Sleeper
with whatever
cell.
spell he has cast. So
Oh shit! They're gonna kill John Lennon.
Oh shit, I said sleeper and I got sleepy.
All right. With that, we will pick up there next time as you are all faced with multiple hymns erupting from the bodies of the mages you were previously partying with.
Oh, these things suck to fight.